So we just got done with a very successful track day. This is my buddy Matt. You guys have seen me on the channel before. Driving back from lovely Button Willow, California. I almost said Willows, but that's Thunder Hill. I always get the two confused.
Yeah.
So why I'm selling my BMW 5 Series, that's going to be the topic of today's video. It's going to be short, brief, just kind of a heads up, because I know you guys have been following kind of my journey with like the ownership experience and the maintenance and all the stuff that I've been doing to it over the past almost 2 years that I've had it now. So some info about the car. It's a 2003 BMW 540i M Sport 6-speed manual with a 4.4 liter V8. I bought the car just before 113,000 miles back in November or late October 2017. Now it's got a little over 135,000 miles, and it's still my daily driver. Honestly, I've already had the car longer than I expected I would keep it. Like when I first bought it, I thought maybe I'd have it for a year tops.
I gave you like 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. I mean, he knows me. He's seen my entire car progression over the years.
Yeah.
And I don't keep cars for a very long time, so I'm surprised I've kept it for this long. But the reason I've kept it for this long is just because I actually really enjoy it as a daily driver. I've never autocrossed it, tractor, or anything like that, even though I kind of said I would in the beginning, just because I have other cars for that. I have the S2000 track car still, and then, you know, the NSX is a nice weekend car for when I just want to go for a cruise. So the BMW is really just my commuter. I drive people around in it. I drive 64 miles round trip every day for work. And it's really comfortable, it's really luxurious, lots of torque. Fuel economy could be better, but I've been averaging about 22 miles per gallon, which is not bad.
For a V8, right?
For a V8, not bad.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so the one thing I will say is that I have done a lot of maintenance to it in the past 2 years, but I think that should be a good thing for the next owner, hopefully. So I've done everything from brand new shocks all around. I put the Coney yellows on it, Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s all around. Let's see, I did the thrust arm bushings, I did the steering center link, I did a brand new radiator, water pump, thermostat, all the usual, valve cover gasket, all the usual 5 Series or 540i problems pretty much I've done. And the previous owners have done a lot of stuff as well in the past few years. So like the timing chain tensioner, the clutch has been done. The car's pretty much in great shape right now mechanically. Cosmetically, it could use a few things, like there's a few dents on the driver's side. There's a few pieces on the interior that are like kind of loose or broken. Like the rear sunshade, one of the elbow pivot joints snapped, so I just never bothered to get that fixed. But that's really about it. So I'm just kind of looking for my next car that I want to enjoy as a daily driver and potentially as a track car too. I think I might be consolidating to just 2 cars in the near future, and the NSX is still going to be one of them. So I guess you guys can deduce what that means. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's kind of why I'm selling it. I submitted it to Bring a Trailer about a week or a week and a half ago. They did accept it. So at this point, I'm just waiting for them to get back to me with more questions, if they need more photos or more maintenance history. I'm happy to provide all that. If you guys are interested in buying the car, it will be posted on Bring a Trailer, I'm hoping in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So look out for the link to that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I will definitely post a link to that once it's live. There will be no reserve on the auction. So whatever it goes for, it goes for. I'm at the point where I'm not too worried about that. I just want to make sure it goes to someone who's a real car enthusiast. I don't want to kind of deal with all the tire kickers on Craigslist and all that. So,
well, hence posting it on Bring a Trailer.
Hence posting it on Bring a Trailer in the first place, exactly.
But maybe you can kind of like go through like that process, because when you told me what you had to go through, I had no idea Bring a Trailer, that's how it works.
Oh yeah. So from the perspective of a seller, basically what you do is there's 3 different tiers. The lowest tier costs $99, and basically you provide all your own photos, but they will still put together the post for you. I think the second tier is like $200 or $300 more.
Okay.
But they'll actually send a photographer to you and take all the pictures of your car for you.
Wow.
So obviously I went for the lowest here because I have a pretty good camera, some basic photography experience. The photos should be pretty good. And basically you submit your car on the website, all the photos, all the maintenance history. There's basically a list of questions that they ask you, and you just provide as much detail as possible. And within 3 to 4 days, they typically get back to you and tell you whether they will accept the car or not. And if they do, basically someone on their team will actually start writing to the post, collecting the little bits of info that you provided, and making it sound like sound professional and consistent with all the other things that they post, because they go through a lot of cars, every week with auctions, and they've really blown up over the past like 2 to 3 years. So that's kind of how it works. You can decide if you want to put a reserve or not. I actually, when I first submitted it, I did want to put a reserve on it, but they told me that these cars typically fetch higher prices if you don't put a reserve. So I said, yeah, why not? I mean, the car's not worth a fortune, so I'm not too worried about losing a ton of money on it.
Probably by the time you post this, you'll find out, right?
There's a good chance by the time this video is live, the link will be live, but we'll see.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any suggestions for what I should get next, drop them in the comments.
The discourse begins.
I'm definitely heavily leaning towards one particular car of one generation.
If you were to go a certain route.
If I were to go a certain route, meaning consolidating into one car for both street and track use. I'll let you guys guess what that is. If you guys can guess it, I'll actually reply and I'll let you know that you won. Actually, how about this? My buddy just went to Japan. They got me a bunch of Jay's Racing parts, like stickers and keychains and whatnot. If the first person to guess the car that I have in mind, down to the year, make, model, and trim level, I will actually send you some swag from Jay's Racing. But alright guys, we'll leave it at that. Look forward to the track videos coming as well. I drove a Miata, a Boxster S, and this Fiesta ST at Button Willow. Had a great time. So look forward to that. Look forward to the Bring a Trailer post. And I'll see you guys next time.